on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. Okay. Welcome to another episode of King Simon Presents Only Quality People. How you feeling, family? How you feeling? Welcome. We got a special guest coming up for you at 11 a.m. Oh, we're going to have a good time today. Going to have a good time this morning. How y'all feeling all over the world, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth? What's up? Wake up! We got a special superstar guest coming in. We got a special superstar guest coming in, doing his thing, man. Going to share some beautiful wisdom of the ancestors with you. And I'm honored to have him coming up momentarily. So don't you move a muscle, because Doctah B is coming up right here. Doctah B is coming up right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. So don't you touch that dial, man. Remember, tonight we got Baba Phil Valentine on a private link coming up tonight. So make sure y'all tune into that. But you got to go through the link if you want to tune in. It's called Decoding the Time. It's called Decoding the Time with Baba Phil Valentine, okay? That's Decoding the Time with Baba Phil Valentine. So we're going to be dealing with that tonight. So you don't want to miss that. That's going to be a very important subject. And I put it on a private link because it's all right. I don't want to get my main stage, flagged in any way. So, Baba Phil Valentine, he always come with the get down, which is the get down. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have that coming up tonight, later on tonight at 8:08 tonight. And remember, if you want to learn how to make candles, make sure you go to this beautiful lady right here and make sure you contact her, leave a message, because the candle making business is a $13 billion a year business, according to statistics online. But her number is, if you want to learn how to make your own scented candles and all of that, nicely pure and fresh and all that, people who love candles can make their own styles. Call that number right there on the screen, show her some love, and she will show you some love also. And don't forget, on October the 6th, Sunday, October the 6th, I have the one, the only Dr. Alicia Kair coming in, the metaphysics of the destruction of Generation Z. She's going to be coming in. And don't forget, that's going to be happening on Sunday, October the 6th. Remember, make sure you scan the QR code. Matter of fact, Doctah B will be there as a special guest. Brother Rich will be there as a special guest. Tassili Ma'at, Brother Red Pill and Blue Pill, High Heels, Brother Lorenzo Sanford is going to be there. And then I'm heading to Brooklyn, New York for October 27th. We're going to head into Brooklyn, New York for all of it, because I'm about all of that. And don't forget, if you're into martial arts, make sure you check us out in the martial arts realm. We're going to have a good time on November the 9th. Just scan the QR code and you'll get to that event in Brooklyn, New York. And don't forget, support our sister Carrie Ann Ingram. Support our sister Carrie Ann Ingram in Toronto, Canada. Go to her website, carrieanningram.com, carrieanningram.com. Our guest is backstage, so I'll make sure we'll bring him up at 11:11. So don't forget that. And if you are currently looking for part-time work or full-time work at home, if you want to work from home and you got it, and you don't have a bad record, you got a clean record, make sure you text the words "hire me" to 770-861-9906. That's 770-861-9906. If you really, really want to make things happen and get some extra money. And if you got high car insurance, guess what? If you got high car insurance, this sister can help you. She's the one that I'm going to be featuring on October the 6th, but she can help you also with your car insurance, especially younger people and older people, because sometimes the DMV is striking out against the older people and the younger people, and your car insurance might be high, but if you want that car insurance to lower down, go to 877-855-8111 and make sure you put in that ID, that rep ID, that representative ID at FTT2E. FTT2E. You can call it right now if you want. It's up to you. All right. It's now 7 minutes after the hour, 7 minutes after the top of the hour. Remember, my son has a great recording studio in New York City, Green Studio NYC in Brooklyn, New York. So make sure you still support him. Remember, Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Always shouting him out, bigging him up all the time. Big up to Color Curiosity, one of my mods, but make sure you support the Color Curiosity, the feng shui, the wardrobe, coloring, styling. Give them a call, give her a text right here at the number on the screen. And another one of my mods, Dr. Shakira Moore, iridologist, nutritional advisor, spiritual teacher. Make sure you give her a call or hit her up at Linktree/the holistic healer. And big up to Nicholas Brooklyn. I'll be in Nicholas on October 27th, and they celebrating 50 years celebration. So make sure you support them. And remember, if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. I got 4 different sessions right now: the 10-minute, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, and the hour session is now added. And all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth. I will ask you for an email, and then I will send you the details. All right, because it's detailed. Really detailed. If you want any of my books, go to Amazon or Kindle, or remember, you could go to my Linktree/King Simon the Numerator, Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. And remember, collector's edition, hardcover. If you want that, you will also, once you order this hardcover, which is a collector's edition, guess what? You will also get a free Billy Carson book. I have 4 of his titles right with me. Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, Epic of Humanity, and Fractal Holographic Universe. So I have all of those things ready. All right, family, how y'all doing out there? How y'all doing? Let me see. Everybody's coming in. Boop, 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 boop. People coming in on Facebook, people coming in on Instagram, people coming in on YouTube. How y'all doing today? What's up? Saturn's Daughters in the YouTube. Mama Love is in the building also. Alba La Pantria is in the building. Gwendolyn is in the building. Underworld is in the building. And remember, if you want the link to the Transcendence tickets or products that Doctah B have, make sure y'all go to elevationtime.com. That's elevationtime.com. It's on the screen. It's also pinned on the top of the chat if you want to support Doctah B. And big up to my dear friend Yolanda Spivey, metaphysical teacher and insurance lady and all of that. Big up to all of y'all that's in the chat, man. Loving y'all, loving my people in the chat, because remember, King Simon only allows quality people on my channel. Not the argumentative, not the crazy ones, not the ones that are not critical thinkers. That's the ones that just want to argue just to argue because of emotion's sake. I'm not doing all of that with people. All right. So before we bring on the great Doctah, I want to play a nice commercial that he aired on his channel. All right, so I'm going to remove me from the screen a little. Let me see if I can remove myself off the screen. Boom. And we're going to play this commercial before we bring him up at 11:11. So let me put that there and let me upload this. And let me move myself off the screen. And here we go.
October 6th. What? Transcendence, music, vibration, healing, metamorphosis, alchemy, live, right here, right now. Are you ready? Let's go. October 6th. What? Transcendence, music, vibration, healing, metamorphosis, alchemy, live, right here, right now. Are you ready? Let's go.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Without further ado, my man is going to be doing something called Transcendent on a very good day, October the 6th. And y'all need to go to elevationtime.com. That's elevationtime.com. And without further ado, not only is he the spiritual leader, winner and recipient of the Forbidden Knowledge Awards. Both of us was in the winner's circle that day. This brother is not only an extraordinary brother that have done great work throughout the world, and he has at least 13 teachers that he's going to be coming to my event on October the 13th to talk about. I want y'all to welcome on stage my brother, your brother, the one, the only, Doctah B Sirius in the building. My brother.
Yes,
my brother. How you feeling, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I am elated with joy.
Man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to have that choice.
You darn right,
that
sir. Experience. Yes, sir, brother. And I commend and thank you for always being real with me and real with the audience. And I love what you did on Brother Richard's show, man. That musical interlude that you gave us, man. Some people's hearts was beating, ears was thumping, feet was banging. Man, you made me want to bring out my drums. So I'm honored to have you here on this 1111 energy, man, and this on the 29th, which is the number 11, also frequency. Thank you very much for coming, man. I know you have a busy section, so I'm not going to try to keep you here for too long, but we got to get into it because the topic for today is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's the topic for today, my brother. And I know you love this topic.
Yes.
What's going on, brother? How you been, brother? Go ahead. How's the family?
Everything's going good. The family is doing great. We're at a very special time on the planet.
Yes.
And just, thankful to be here, honored to be here at this moment, to be able to take in the experience that we're now going through. This place that we're in right now has never happened before.
That's right.
This is a transcendent time.
Yes.
We are going through Gene Key 55. And for those of you who may not have looked it up, please look it up. It's from the book, The Gene Keys, which is a very powerful book, which,
I have it right here.
Yeah, that is for the time. And see, it's one thing to look up your personal gene keys, but then there's another way to look up the gene keys of the time that we're in. Right. And the time that we're in is the time of the dragonfly dream.
Yes.
Which ties right into everything that you're talking about.
Yes.
See, the dragonfly is a very special being. And then also we're in the wood dragon, right, on the Chinese calendar, which is also significant. And to really grab this piece, and every time I look at this Gene Key 55, it gets deeper and deeper. I mean, every day.
Yes.
I mean, right down to this moment, even doing this particular show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The dragonfly starts out as a nymph. It lives like in a swamp, and it's under the water. And most of the time, this gets deep when I even think about this, bro.
I know.
Most of the time, it just eats. It eats everything, anything that's moving. It looks like a little monster. In fact, it kind of is.
Yep.
But everything is attempting to eat it. So it lives in victimhood, but it's also ferocious. It's also it's in survival mode, fight or flight, eat or be eaten. So its whole life for 2 years is about drama, and it lives in the murky drama. So all it knows is drama. It was born in drama, out of drama, trauma, you see? But then all of a sudden, the imaginal cells inside of the nymph, they come online.
Yes.
Which urges it to crawl up a reed or stick out of the murky swamp. And when it does this, something amazing happens. It goes through a metamorphosis.
Yes.
Its body splits open, and out comes the dragonfly. And for the first time, it takes a deep breath and breathes air, because under the water, they don't even breathe. They just take in oxygen from the water. And there's not a lot of oxygen in the swamp, so they're struggling to breathe. Breath has a lot to do with who you are. Breath has a lot to do with allowing energy to flow through your life. Breath is the creator moving through you. And if you're not able to breathe, if you're not able to get enough oxygen, then you can't carry enough nutrients to your cells to have a full life. So this is why breathing is so important, especially in times of emergency. Now, remember, this thing has been for 2 years under emergency, emerged under the water in a dark, damp swamp. For the first time, it breathes deep. It sees for the first time, its eyes pop out, and it sees the world differently. It's the beautiful colors of green and red, and it never noticed, it never had a chance to see these things before. And then it has to move quickly, because everything out there is trying to eat this also, because it's a little, dragonfly that's not fully developed yet, sitting on a leaf or on a stem. And its wings have to be inflated.
Right.
So what it does, and this is deep.
Yes, sir.
It takes the water, because there's water still in this body from the swamp. The swamp represents drama. The swamp represents trauma. It represents pain. It represents the victim archetype. It takes that water, and you has these little hydraulic pumps, and it pumps that water into its wings, and the wings unfold. Remember, the water from the past, the water from the drama, is pumped into the wings.
Yes, sir.
And the wings unfold and inflate. Then the sun hits the wings and evaporates the water, but also turns the wings into solar panels. So now the dragonfly becomes electrified. And then it gently begins to fly away. The first thing it does is looks for another dragonfly to mate with. And when they mate, they make like a heart when they mate. All it does every day for the next 2 to 3 weeks is mate. That's all they do. All they do is they get busy. They make love.
Doc, since you talked about that, I've been sitting out in my yard watching dragonflies. Almost every time I see them, I need to follow these. You got me inquisitive again about dragonflies. So we used to be inquisitive about that with children as a child, So I think that's very important.
So it took flight by taking its past, its drama, its trauma, using that as the fuel, the energy to create its new life. Now, when it takes flight, it makes love every day because it lays thousands and thousands and thousands of eggs, which are going to be nymphs. It lays them in the water. It just, this is what they do. They make love out of the things that are not love. It took the trauma and the drama and all the pain and all the victim archetype and turned it into love. See, this is a story of alchemy. This is a story of taking all what we've been through, right, and flipping it, transforming it, because that's what makes us who we are. Even a
Right.
diamond has to go through pressure. It has to go through fire. It has to go through heat. It needs time and patience to become a diamond. We are becoming diamonds. We are at the time right now with this place that we've never been in, where the earth is speeding up. The planets are speeding up. The sun is heating up. You see, all of a sudden now there's new things in the sky we've never seen before. There's new planets popping up because the earth, the moon, and our whole solar system is in a place that it has not been before. Also, Mr. King Simon, we are in the photon belt. The photon belt. Look up the photon belt. This is a cloud of biophoton light creatures. They're beings. They're little light beings. They're like little angels of light that live in a cloud. Every 13,000 years, our solar system goes through the photon band. Whenever we go through the photon band, we receive more light. Light is information. Light is everything. It's made of light. Even metal is made of light. Everything on that periodic table is measured in light. So we are being enlightened right now with more light, more biophotons than we have for 13,000 years. But at the same time, it just doesn't mean everything is good and smiley and happy. It means that this transformation time. It means that everything goes up because everything under the sun gets light. Everything on the earth gets light. So even the drama is heating up. So it's not just, oh my God, we're in a great time. We're in a time where you must stay focused. We must stay focused on going through the transmutation from being nymphs for the last 6,000 years as human beings on the planet, war, fighting, pain, even the last 2,000 years was the time of manipulation, where they got people to believe in all kinds of stuff that didn't even have any value, but we believed in it because a lot of folks went through it because you need to go through that ebb and flow so that you can become a great selector, like you, a DJ, man, a cut selector. You see,
back in the day,
if once you won, you always won.
You always won.
But
Exactly.
knowing what song to play, knowing what track to say, knowing when to talk, when not to talk.
When not to talk. Yeah, that's right.
You see how to know when and when to know how.
That's right.
This is the time to be vigilant and be focused and be ready to celebrate what our wins. Because a lot of folks, even though they've won something, they don't celebrate it because they don't think it's big enough.
Now, Doc, hold on one second. Stick right there, because a lot of people don't feel that they should celebrate certain things. And I want to ask you, what is the role? What role does self-care plays in the spiritual growth, and how can all of us benefit and prioritize it? And because you're about to do something that's never been done, the Transcendent event that you're about to do. And that's going to help people's mind, just like your music did on Brother Rich, and that you did at the Gathering of the Masses, and various other things that you've done over the years, because you're now a teacher, but you've had master teachers also. So how does self-care play a spiritual play in the role of a spiritual growth, and how should we prioritize that in some way? Let's go back to that question first before I get into it. Okay.
See, a lot of us went through so much trauma under what we call oppression. And almost all people for the last 2,000 years, whether you realize it or not, have been through some sort of oppression. Once you've gone through oppression long enough, you almost begin to accept the oppression, like the nymph. The nymph accepts its world in the swamp. As humans, we begin to accept our time in the last 2,000 years, the time of Pisces, which was like a swamp, which is why you needed prophets to come along to guide us. See, we won't need prophets now, because we are all prophetic. It's in us. But during that time, the last 2,000 years, when we were so far away from the center of the galaxy, when we went through what they call the Iron Age, which, as you know, became the Rusty Age, became the time of manipulation, right? And that was because, certain beings come along at a certain time to to use the energy that's not being used. So what happens is, after being oppressed for so long, people can easily become oppressive.
Right.
They may not oppress others, but they may oppress themselves.
Right.
Opportunities come along and they shun it off. They don't take it because they don't feel they're worth it. They don't feel they have what they need. They don't feel they have the look, the name, the money. They don't feel righteous because they've been oppressed so long. They have become self-oppressed. So they don't necessarily care about themselves all that much anymore because they don't feel they're worth it. They feel like their luck is bad. They feel like, this is what I've been through. I've been through trauma, my parents, my school, my friends, the government, the other folks, the enemy, and we just live in that swampiness, that water of the swamp, but we're actually out of the swamp. So if you're a nymph that just crawled out of the swamp and don't realize you're out of the swamp because you don't realize the world just changed, what happens is you self-oppressed. That dragonfly will not inflate its wings. It will sit there on the reed, and a hawk or a bird or another insect or a frog or whatever is going to come by and eat it because it is not inflating its wings. Because after being through oppression for so long, the person becomes their own personal saboteur. And at that point, they don't care about themselves at a high enough level to realize, to open their eyes, to realize that it's time to fly. Oh, this is very, very important. Right. And you should tell your friends and share this because I don't hear anybody talking about this in the mainstream. I haven't even heard anybody on the internet talking about this piece. And this is the message that I am here to bring at this particular time.
Yes.
So a lot of people, after going through oppression for so long, they get an illness called chronic servitude syndrome. Chronic servitude syndrome. Because they don't have enough self-care, they're always helping everybody else. They're there at everybody's beck and call. They feel like this is what I'm supposed to do because I'm depressed, suppressed, repressed. So I'm going to help other people. I'm going to be there for them, whatever they need. And they create what's called a fawn personality. Fawn personality is one where I'm just going to be happy, be the life of the party, help everybody, but never really help myself because I don't feel worthy because of all that I've been through, because they haven't gone through the alchemical process within themselves to wake themselves up. Now, once you begin to wake up, all of a sudden, you begin to realize that messengers have been coming to you all the time. Messages have been coming. Messages in a bottle, message in an animal, message in a bird, a bee. When you see a hawk, that's a messenger. When you see a deer, that's a messenger. When somebody says something to you disagreeable, somebody talks about you, that's a messenger.
Yep.
You would say, wait a minute. He just called me a blah, blah, blah and said I wasn't shit. Oh, this is a beautiful opportunity. Why? For you to see if you've grown up enough to allow yourself to not let that affect you, to use that as fuel. As my father told me, who was one of my teachers.
Yes.
He said he has never experienced oppression. I mean, he's never experienced a racism. I said, what are you talking about? I've actually been with you when they called you those terrible names. He said, yeah, but I never experienced it. So what do you mean? He says, you see, I was the first Black engineer in our whole city. I was the first blah, blah. He had like 4 or 5 things that he was able to do that nobody had done, even though they was throwing mess at him. They was throwing shade on him. They called him every name in the world because he was so good at what he did. They tested him. He said they may have thrown racism and slurs at me, but I didn't experience it because words cannot truly hurt you. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but names and words cannot truly hurt you unless you allow. Whoo!
That word allow. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Teach. Make sure y'all go to elevationtime.com for them tickets and his products. Go ahead.
I am so grateful.
Yes, sir. Me too.
And most of my life, I was in opposition with my father. And it was not until almost recently I realized what he was teaching me by being the opponent. He was teaching me how to be stronger, how to move through opposition, how to not let things that they throw at you affect you.
Yes.
Today, people are so sensitive. You can look at a person, they're ready to fight and kill you. Look, what you looking at?
Yep.
Oh, he called me a such and such. I'm gonna get him. Words, huh? That means that you ain't spreading your wings. You are not going to be a dragonfly. You will not be able to go and make love and make new babies, because guess what? You are oppressed and depressed and repressed, and you don't care about yourself enough. See, because most people are minding other people's business, so they can't business their own mind. Once you mind your business and business your mind, once you realize that you should take care of yourself first, stop jumping up at every second to go help everybody in the world. Everybody, they didn't even ask for help a lot of times. So you got to help them. You got to give them your opinion. What you ought to do, you need to do such and such. They didn't ask you for no opinion. If they didn't ask you for no opinion, you don't give them one. You mind your business. What's your business? What should you be working on to build yourself? Some people say, well, that's selfish. Well, selfish was, they told you this was a bad thing to be, but you need to be selfish. What's wrong with that? I mean, just think about it. Who told you? I think it was the church. Don't be selfish. That means you got to give up all yourself for everybody else and be there to give it all away. They've ended up giving up more than 10%. They say give your tithe. Some people tithing all day, all night. Their life is tied. They're tied like a camel, right, to a little tree. You tied. See, there's tied, then there's tithed. They're real close. The subconscious don't know the difference. The subconscious does not know that there's a subtle difference between tithing and tied and tired. I talk to some people, and also all they say, man, I'm tired. I'm tired. That's all they say. I'm tired. And they keep putting a spell on themselves. And see, the subconscious does not know that what you're saying is not really real. Or if you're talking about somebody else, the subconscious cannot perceive or conceive anything outside of itself. So what happens is that when you're in this mode, your teachers come. Throughout your life, teachers have been coming. Guides have been coming. Messengers have been coming. And if you're not in the position to allow or to accept them because you're so traumatized, you're so depressed, you're so repressed, you keep talking about the past and how bad it was and what you've been through, you're so oppressed that you can't wake up and realize that this is the time for you to rise and elevate and transcend to the next level so that you can become who you truly came to be. Now, I fortunately have had 13 teachers, 13 mentors. Yes. And I didn't realize it till Baba Dick Gregory had left. Because when he was on the way to me to Atlanta. Yes. When he, made his transition. When I got the message that he was, about to leave, I'm like, what do you mean? Leave where? He's leaving from the airport? He's coming to me? Because I had a special package for him, because I made a lot of different formulas, and we created a lot of things together. And I had a special group of things that was just for him. And when he said he was coming, I got prepared for him. And that's when I got the call from, his best friend saying that, he's not gonna make it. He's in the hospital. Wow. And I was blown away. But when he finally made his transition, which was on his own accord, he decided that it was time to go. Didn't nobody take him out. All this old boy, it's always a conspiracy.
Always some conspiracy.
Sometimes you just got to be ready to let go of the cord and say, hey, look, I can do more at the college, at the universal college, than I can do in this high school. You see? But I was on my lawn for days. Yeah. Outside. I was just really gone. I was depressed. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yes, sir.
Because he's my godfather, basically, has left. And he'd always come as an owl. And there was an owl in a tree really close to me. Owls don't get this close. It was like, I'm sitting there crying, you know what I'm saying? What am I going to do now? How am I going to continue this whole thing? And it kept making a sound, and it got closer. And his big eyes, I saw, I was like, look at how big that thing is, man. You know how they be sounding. And I remember Dick Gregory saying, I'll come as an owl. The wise owl. Watch out for the wise owl. And I said, Dick, is that you? Dick Gregory, is that you? And he said, I said, oh, no, maybe that's just, sometimes you don't know that. That's really the message. So I waited. I was quiet for a while. It was quiet. I said, Dick, whoo, whoo. You ever hear them owls, man? They don't just
yeah.
I ain't never heard no owl just say hoot, hoot, hoot. Like like they teach you as children, you know, what animals sound like. They don't even really sound like that.
Right.
You're messing with your head. You know what I'm saying? But I realized that the owl was Dick Gregory. And the energy popped in my head. A whole sentence that says, why are you sad? You've had 13 teachers, 13 mentors since you were a child. 13. I was like, 13 mentors, 13 teachers. What are we talking about? 13. I started counting. And I went all the way back to my Uncle B, who's part of where I got the name B. My Aunt B on the other side of the family, who I also got the name B. My father, Brother B. My name was all built on some of my teachers. And then I started to check out a lot of the people. My first jazz teacher, Jackie McLean, one of the greatest jazz musicians ever that played with Miles. He was the one that took me on and told me to go become a percussion teacher at 16 when I didn't even have a teacher. He said, well, the best teacher becomes the teacher and teaches to teach, to learn. And I began to run down and I realized that all the people that have come to me, Chief Little Bear, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. I said, I've had teachers since the beginning. If I go back and get out of some of my trauma and my drama, because I had a life full of drama and trauma too.
Yes, sir.
But it was always guides there. Certain animals kept popping up. The bees. In fact, we got a video right now of me last week. We were at the place where we're doing our event. Yes. And a bee came and flew. And it lands on my partner. Then all of a sudden it looks over at me and I put my hand out and it just jumps into my hand. Wow. Now most people would be frightened. Yeah. I have a connection with bees.
That's right.
See, I got stung by hundreds, maybe thousands of bees when I was young.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I never heard you say this, bro. Man.
I was cutting the lawn and there was a hole with bees in it.
With the bees.
You know them ground bees, man.
The beehive, yeah.
This ain't the same as the ground bees in Georgia. This is the ground bees up north in New England. Because the ones down in Georgia, you probably ain't gonna be able to. You run over that. I don't know if I'd be. This is a different bee. You got some Georgia bees. Ain't no joke.
You'd be underground.
Shoot. This was Connecticut bees. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, this different
bees. But I got stung by a swarm of them back because I was cutting the lawn and went over their little hole. Right, and they came out and stung me. And I remember my father yelling. He said, don't run, because I'm running and swinging. He says, don't run, swing, just breathe, just breathe. He was inside the screen. He wasn't coming out. You my son, but ain't nothing I can do right now. You got to handle this on your own. You got to go through this lesson. You got to learn the martial art of breathing in silence, even in fear, even in danger, even though the bees is calling you.
Right.
Stinging me. After a while, I just started breathing. And they stopped stinging me. I had stingers all in me. They was, the little stinger be still pumping.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Did you know there's a poison inside of the bee stinger that is very healing? It's a medicine. People who have a lot of like inflammation, arthritis, people who have MS. Right. In fact, my mother, she had MS and she was, just before she made a transition, she wanted to go get the bee sting theory where they put bees in a jar and put them on you and they sting you.
Yeah. Wow.
It actually interacts, it changes the frequency of inflammation.
Right.
Bees. When I was being stung, they changed my frequency. I became friends with them. Did you know, Brother King, that the bees, the frequency that they emit is 528 hertz. That is the frequency that repairs DNA. It's the frequency that heals the heart. It's the frequency of love, kindness, forgiveness. 528. Zzz, they all do it. And that tone, that frequency in the bee And the rhythm that they all make as they're flapping their wings is a rhythm that actually takes you to a transcendent state.
I love listening to bees. I really love listening to them.
And if you ever go to my website, elevationtime.com, and go check out what we call medicine music, the Medicine Music Project, which, you know, in the year 2000, I created this term medicine music. A lot of folks using it today, but that's something that I created, and it had never been used that way. So we created the Medicine Music Projects, and it's the Medicine Music Collective. On there are sounds from all over the world, sounds of nature. Me and my partner went and re-recorded bees and birds and rivers and creeks. We even went to Jamaica. We went to Dunn's Rivers Falls. I recorded the sound of Dunn's River Fall, where you got fresh water flowing into the ocean water. When those waters come together, man, that's a whole thing. Where the river meets the ocean, or the river meets a lake, where different rivers come together, different types of water, different frequency. Water is a living crystal, and when different types of waters come together, they connect to the 7 waters or the 7 oceans within you, because all of us have 7 different types of water within us. So the 7 oceans in the world are connected to us. Every river is connected to the ocean. Every lake is connected to a river. Every ocean is connected to the oceans inside of us. That is connected to the ocean of the world, because we live in fluidic space, and all of the galaxy is an ocean. Did you know that? We live in liquid space, fluidic space. And we're always able to transpond and transmute into these other spaces by realizing what's happening. So when I allowed these bees to sting me, they changed me.
Yes.
I became the bee.
Yes.
Uncle B, aunt B, father, brother B. Now I'm B. I'm being. To be means to be right now. You can only be if you're you're talking about you as a human being. You couldn't be. Most people ain't no human beings, because they're not being. You got to be. Now take the human off, okay? You ain't got to be a human if you don't want, since you all deep and metaphysical, but you need to be. To be or not to be, that is the question. To be in the moment.
Yes. To
be in the moment. You got to be ready to catch it when it comes. You got to be ready to listen to the messengers when they come.
Right. No, Dr. B, on that point, what you just said, and those that are just tuning in, please go to his website. I don't know if the Transcendence tickets are sold out yet, because I know you only had 65 seats, which is an 11, which makes sense. But I want to know, is the ticket sold out yet, or y'all still pumping? Y'all still pumping, Dr. B?
From what I found out yesterday, there's still some tickets, and they've actually expanded this thing. The people that are putting this together are magical people. And they're dealing with that Omelic energy from the Omelic heads,
Yes,
which are the original teacher to Omeka.
Okay.
It's a very special event, and I would, if I were you, and let me just break this down. I got to tell this.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I go to this restaurant, which is a store, and I always go there because I buy furniture there, because it's all from south of the border. Okay. And remember, that's where pyramids are down there too. This continent and the South America, that was considered what you might call Egypt. Also, it was all one. It was not divided. The Mississippi River is the other Nile. They say that's the older Nile. They say that the Mississippi hold out the Mississippi Valley. That's why you got Memphis. Let's look at the names of the cities and towns along the Mississippi. That was also the Nile. See, some people are in denial. And they don't realize that there was another Nile. There's many Niles. There's not one Nile. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So being here, you are there. So these, like this shirt I have on.
Yes, sir.
It's this one place that they go to South America and Central America, and they get these clothes that I wear. I don't even know anybody that wears them. I know the owners. They go get stuff for me. They bring back certain items. And I happened to go in the store because we were having a meeting at this place. It's a restaurant in the store. And I walk in, and the lady walks up to me. She says, "Oh my God, you're Dr. B." And she starts crying. "Oh my God, you're Dr. B. I can't believe that you're actually here. What are you doing in this store?" I said, been coming here for like 6-7 years. She says, "Oh my God, I've never seen you. I'm the manager." And she's boo-hooing. And she's telling the people, do you know who this man is? This is the spiritual leader. He's the spiritual leader. Oh my God. And she takes a while to get her composure together, right? She says, so what's happening? What's happening? I said, well, I'm here looking at, clothes to see what y'all got, what came in. And, I'm having a meeting with our staff over here. She says, your whole staff is here? I says, yeah, the whole Elevation staff is here. She comes over to the table. She meets everybody. She brings the staff of the store out. Then she goes and gets the owners. And she says, do you guys know Dr. B? And the owner's like, yeah, we know Dr. B. And they're like, well, do you know who he is? She says, he's the guy who buys the shirts and buys the clothes. She said, no, this guy's an herbalist. He's this, he's a musician. She names all these things and they get excited. Well, we didn't know that. She says, he's famous. They were like, wow. The next thing they come to me and they says, they want to know if you want to do some type of event.
Yes, sir.
What kind of event? They said, what do you want to do? He says, I don't know. So I walk away. I don't know. That's not my job anymore. I just flow. I'm just here for whatever the universe says for me to do. And within about an hour, they had come up with this event called Transcendence at this place. And it just all fell in order. And everybody was like ready to do this. The staff, everybody wanted to work on the day and said, what day is this thing going to be? And they picked October the 6th. I don't know how they came up with that.
Good number.
And we said, well, this place can fit 65 people. It's outside. It's a brand new, like a area where they've got, they got the tarps over the top. It's a whole outside eating area. And the food is, it's like Mexican-ish. Right. They have some vegan and vegetarian options. And they said, let's just do an event.
That's right.
So I said, okay, well, let's do it. Let's call it Transcendence. I'm with that. And what I'm going to do, what came to me was to do music.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Makes sense.
Have some fun and celebrate the winning of the Forbidden Knowledge Conscious Award for Spiritual Leader. I haven't celebrated that.
Right. And I haven't celebrated mine either. You're right.
Let me tell you something, man.
Right.
This is deep.
You're right.
When you have been raised in a world in the swamp.
Yes, sir.
In the world of oppression.
Yes.
You may not celebrate so much because you almost are like in fight or flight and you feel like something bad is going to happen again. This is only a reprieve just for a second. I don't know. So, I mean, even graduating high school, I didn't celebrate that because I was in the band. I had an excuse. I got to, the band got to rehearse. So I didn't walk the stage. I never accepted any awards. All the awards that I've gold records, platinum records, golden reel, engineer of the year awards. I got a lot of awards. I mean, somebody else wouldn't accept them for me, but I wouldn't accept it because inside my own subconscious, I was not good enough to accept those things because I didn't have the level of winning that my father expected. I didn't know this consciously. My father was like, you only accept it if you're gonna get a degree as an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer, something that was on that level. That was his thing. I didn't realize till like about 2 years ago when we were doing God Power 2 that energy that my father had about winning was stuck in me. So I never accepted any awards. I had to break that spell.
Yes.
It was, and brother, I have to say that, is Richard Merritt, from Black Magic.
My brother.
He may not have realized, but he helped me break that spell along with Billy Carson. Because when he asked me to come to do the 7 prayers in New York, I was in resistance to go do these 7 prayers.
That's right.
Even though we had done the largest event of its kind, the largest conscious event, which was God Power 1, the blueprint for God Power 1, which is still online at elevationtime.com if y'all didn't check it out. It's life-changing. It was the largest conscious event ever done in one day. Billy Carson and I for like 8-9 hours.
That's right.
Dropping science about what could everything from business to finance to subconscious to language. That is a powerful thing. So that just happened. We didn't expect it. So I wasn't ready. So I didn't have to accept anything. I just had to go do it. When they call me, I always go do it. They call me, you call me, I go do it.
That's right.
I respond.
Yes. And don't forget the moment you and Robert E. Grant had.
Whew.
I was there. Remember, I was there.
Let me tell you something. What happened. And that was when we did the show. I had a show called Ask Dr. B.
Dr. B. Yeah.
And they said, we want Robert Grant to come on first. He's going to be coming back from the pyramids. And I remember he got in the limo. We picked him up at the hotel, right? And he jumped in the limo. He was like, hey, Doctor B, good to meet you. And then he started dropping his science. He didn't stop.
He didn't stop.
What was it, like 45 minutes from the hotel to Billy's place, Billy's studio? He was just on it. He just kept touching me. And Dr. B, and you know music and music and music. I said, what do you know about music? He says, well, I'm a musician. I've been a musician most of my life. I said, you're a musician? Really? He says, yeah, I think Billy Carson's a musician. I said, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Billy's a musician? He says, oh, yeah, I didn't know that. So this whole thing starts happening, starts happening. The man is dropping all this knowledge on me. And check this out. We are in the interview. And this man has not, it's like he just came out of the pyramids. He had just come out and he realized that the pyramids were musical instruments and they were emitting these tones and frequencies. And he was one of the first people to really, not only talk about it, but experience it, because he spent the night in the pyramids when they began to hum and make music. So he's talking about this for the first time on Dr. B's show. Ask Dr. B.
That's right.
And he's lit up. He can't stop talking. If you watch the interview, you don't see me talking much.
I know.
But then he looks at me, and this is deep.
I was right there, family.
This goes right into what you're talking about today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Robert Grant looks at me and he says, you have to be able to take a straight line ruler. A straight edge. He says, you take a straight edge.
That's right.
That's a ruler with no numbers on it.
That's right.
You take a straight edge and a compass, and you can map out everything in the universe using a straight edge and a compass. I stopped the interview. I jumped up and I ran. Am I right?
That's right.
I stopped.
He ran into the backyard. He ran into the back. Yep.
I ran out. I was crying. Did. I was like, what the heck?
We was like this. We was all wondering what happened. What happened?
In the middle of the interview, I couldn't do no more.
He couldn't do it no more.
And I ran out and I was sat down by the alligator lake.
Yep.
They got a lake out there. They got a big alligator. They keep talking about it. Sometimes they say he's 8 feet. Sometimes they say he's 12 feet. Sometimes they say he's 15. How big is the alligator? And be careful out there by the lake.
We ain't looking for it.
There's ducks and birds that just go disappeared. They get unalived out there by the lake. I went and sat right by the edge of the lake. You know why? First of all, look up the symbolism of the alligator or the crocodile. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there and I'm boo-hooing. You know why? When I was about 14, my father is a draftsman, an engineer. And he takes me down to his drafting table. And he pulls out this thing. He says, son, this is a straight edge. It has no numbers on it. So you have no concept of length or anything. It's just a straight edge for you to make a straight line. And he puts it on the table. And he pulls out a compass. This is at 14. And he says, this is a compass. This is a tool that you use to draw anything. You could map out the universe using a straight edge and a compass. Brother, when Robert Grant said this to me, he looked at me the way my father would look at me. He used the tone that my father used. He became my father. And I'm like, he's an Asian dude. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be? My daddy's supposed to come as a black man, but no. Your daddy is in the universe. You see what I'm saying? He's traveling on the university of life, and he's everywhere. He's everything. You don't die. He's traveling. He's a traveler. He's a messenger. And he comes through Robert Grant, and Robert Grant looks at me and pauses. And I realized this is my father telling me that I had the whole universe in my hands. He was teaching me how to navigate the universe.
Yes. Yes.
With a straight edge, that means a ruler. See, a ruler is used for measurement. A measurement tool is also called medicine.
Right.
Medicine means measurement. So this was a medicine piece with no numbers, because if you put numbers on it, then it puts things in your head. Oh, this is an inch. This is a millimeter. So go blank. Just have a straight edge in your life with no numbers.
Right.
And use a compass to make circles. Is how you make the flower of life. Terrence Howard It's the flower of life, and it's the spaces in between the flowers of life, which has all the power. Not just the circles and the lines. You got to get in between the circles. You got to get to that space, that sacred space in between those circles. Yes, that's where transcendence happens, in between the space. And I realized that my father was talking to me. This is the man I had a lot of opposition with most of my life, because he was testing me. I didn't know why he was always testing me. I thought he was being mean, but actually he was giving me love and showing me that it was going to be tough in the world. So he was a little tough on me so that he could toughen me up to deal with what I'm dealing with right now. So I broke down.
Yes, sir.
I broke down in that interview. In fact, if you go watch it, I don't know. I think they cut that piece out, but it took me. I had to get it together because that was one of my teachers coming.
Right. And they should have filmed all of that and just put that right in, because that would have been a good part of that. That was juicy, man. It was juicy. It just, let everybody know that you and Robert was connecting in a whole higher transcendental way.
Yeah.
To me, I was there watching it from the background.
But what happens is like, I was born into a vibration of drums and frequency and sound. Right. So I realized that when you hit the drum,
yes, sir,
that's not the most important thing that happens. It's the space in between the beats. So if I go clap and I go like this and there's a space, that's where everything's happening. Space, space, space. Right. And if I shorten the space,
right.
I'm shortening the space, and the space is the final frontier where no one has actually gone. You must go there for the first time. That's where transcendent happens, in the space in between things. It's not the events, it's the space in between the thing. It's not just the breath, it's also in between the breath, because when you inhale, there's a gap, there's a space. When you inhale, there's a quick pause. Then you exhale. You inhale, it is a quick pause. They call that the gap. When you start realizing what the gap is all about, the gap, even in martial arts, it's about the gap, the space. You can't wait till somebody swings on you, right, brother?
That's right.
You can't wait till
you got to be able to see before it happens, right?
Before it happens, you got to be on the event horizon. You got to be feeling the energy before it happens. You got to feel the space in between the events. You got to realize that the space is where everything is happening, because you're looking at the thing, you're looking at what had happened to you, but what you're not looking at is the chance that you get to learn from what happened to you and create space where everything is happening. I was sitting the other day and I was, getting ready to get on this airplane, and I get this phone call. Brother B, what's happening? This cat's a master drummer. His brother Leon. Leon Mobley, one of the greatest djembe players, period. And he called, he says, B, what's happening, man? I was like, what's going on? I ain't heard from this dude in like maybe 12, 13 years, maybe more than that. Actually, more than that. And he says, hey, man, what you doing, man? He says, I'm doing this thing, man. Won't you come play? I says, come play. He said, my percussion band, we're doing the thing. Man, congratulations on the award. You're doing some great things. Man, this music that you're doing, bro. Man, we got to do some of this music together, man. He's talking fast. And I said, well, what's happening? He says, look, I'm going to be in Watts, man. I'm going to be in Watts. And I'm doing this thing at the Watts Drum Festival. I said, really? I says, I'm on the way to LA right now. He says, you are? You on the way to LA? I thought you was in Atlanta. I said, I'm on the way to LA. He says, when can you be there? When can you be there? I says, man, I don't play djembe. I need congas. Oh, you need congas? No problem, man. We're going to get congas for you. Man, you're the spiritual leader, man. You the cat, man. We're going to have everything you need.
That's right.
Man, I go, and this is yesterday. This has just happened.
Wow.
Yesterday. I'm, going through everything to get there. And it's all kind of, there's always challenge. Always some challenge. When you start moving towards what you desire, there's going to be turbulence.
Yes.
Everything in life, right? Every journey is 90% course correction. No matter what your goal is, you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested by money. I don't have enough. But then when an emergency pops up, or your great artist comes to town, guess what? You find it, don't you? You're broke, and you're broke and broken, because that's the talk that somebody told you to say during oppression, to act broke, be broken, let them break you because you've been butt broken. That's a whole nother thing. But what I'm saying is that when something is important enough, you will find the funds.
Right. That's right.
Like, if somebody came and stole our van one time, we had this van.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have enough money to buy another van, another car. We didn't have no money. Mm-hmm. The minute they stole the van, it was less than 7 days. We had a new Volvo. Mm. How did that happen? All of a sudden, we was able to pull energy out of the etheric realm, out of fluidic space, out of the quantum field. And all of a sudden, we created a car. And that was a bad Volvo. Them Volvos ain't no joke.
I used to love Volvos. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We drove that Volvo even when the transmission was going bad, right? And it was jerking. It would be jerking your neck, shifting gears. We still drove it, right? we drove that car to the last, because that was a great car, but it was like a gift out of trauma. It's a gift out of trauma. You got to be able to do the alchemy to turn your trauma, right, into what? To what you desire. You got to transcend the drama, transcend the pressure. You've got to do like the art of war. You don't fight your enemy. You let your enemy bring you the weapon, and you transcend it, and you change it into what you need to stop the battle. To truly win the battle, right? You have to allow the other person to bring you the energy, and you take it. But you got to recognize what's happening on the event horizon before it happens. You've got to be a precog. You got to be in precognition mode to be able to accept it. So when this call came, I shot over to this was just yesterday, man. I went to the Watts, what's it called? The Watts Drum Festival. And I was there, and I don't see Leon Mobley. Where is he? Oh boy, everybody's looking for him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? About 3 minutes before he hits the stage, he looks at me and says, B. He said, oh, what's happening, B? He says, listen, oh man, the drums, I brought you some drums, but they in the car, man. I said, what car? Where they at? He says, man, I don't know, man. Take the remote. He gives me the remote. He says, just walk through the parking lot and keep hitting the button, man. And I'm like, man, they about to hit the stage, man. They want me to come up. This is trauma. I got to go through this test. And I said, just hit. He says, just keep hitting the button. It's a rental car, man. I'm walking through the parking lot, hitting the button, trying to see which car is going. Whoop, whoop. Finally, I see, oh, it's a white Nissan. Whoop, whoop. I go in there. I don't see the car. I don't see the drums. I go in the trunk. There's the drums. I said, oh, man, these is those old school congas, man. These suckers is heavy. these suckers is like 60, 70 pounds each.
Heavy, yeah.
I got to carry them. Man, back to the stage. You know how far that is through the parking lot?
Yep.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? God. I was like, oh my gosh, they ain't even got handles on the side. This is the old school real congas, right? I grabbed the congas, man. I take a couple breaths. I says, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, man. This is deep. And I call on the ancestors. I call on my teachers, and I says, I got to do this. I got to show up, man. I got to show up. I grab these drums, and I'm walking through the parking lot with these drums, and my arms are burning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to do this when I was young, like it was nothing. This is a deep thing, man. And I'm walking. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I stop. I take a couple breaths, and all the people that's usually out there in the parking lot to help you, nobody's out there. It's just me. The whole place is desolate. I'm carrying the drums. I get to the place. I'm out of breath. Oh my God. This is a test. I got to crawl out of the swamp, huh? I got to crawl out of the swamp and get out of being a victim and get out of struggling and complaining. And all of a sudden, I finally get to the stage, and the people come running. Oh, you need some help? I needed some help back 125,000 steps ago. You know what I'm saying? I put the drums on the stage. And the engineer comes over, and I'm sweating. I said, oh, this was a good workout. My arms are burning. I said, yeah, I burnt off about 5 pounds doing this, man. I needed this. This was my ancestors saying, get off your ass, right? I put the drums on the stage. And the sound man comes and says, oh my God, we didn't know you were coming. We don't have no microphone for you. What should we do? I said, just put the drums on the stage. They said, you got a seat? I said, no. They pull up a seat, right? Then here comes, Leon Mobley. And they come out playing these cowbells, him and his whole crew. And I was like, what you want me to do? He just shakes his head, don't do nothing. Man, do you know the last song? He says, ladies and gentlemen, we got a very special guest. And I hadn't been to an event like this in a long time in Los Angeles. And a lot of the people that I knew were there. People who used to come to the lectures at this place called The Good Life. The place was like, people were coming up to me and, oh my God, thank you for what you've done. You taught me so much. And I'm honored. And I got on the stage, man, when they called me up and I played, I soloed. And I never just solo. Usually it's just, I play with the band. I play the rhythm.
Right.
But he says, ladies and gentlemen, Doctah B. And he looks at me and he takes his mic and puts it on my drums. And I solo for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Wow.
Never done it quite like this before. And it was a beautiful thing. But that trial,
Wow.
I had to go through my own trial by fire.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And I loved it. When it was done, it was like, I don't even remember what I did. But what I'm saying is that test is what we're all going through right now.
Yes.
We're all going through that. You got to call on your ancestors, call on those, even what you call your enemies. Did you know that if you call on your enemies, you got to do something and try this out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In the book, Think and Grow Rich.
I have it right here. Mm-hmm.
Napoleon Hill. You got every book, man.
I get
nobody's ever mentioned a book that you didn't have. You know what I'm saying?
I do have it.
His last name is Bookman. You know what I'm saying? King Simon Bookman. That's pretty tight, ain't it?
That's a good one.
Or Booker. You know what I'm saying? Booker means a bookman. You know that.
Bookman from IT.
Bookman.
Yeah, the man with the book.
So there's something that I do.
Yes, sir.
When I'm going through challenge, I'll create what's called a mastermind group. So you sit and you breathe.
Yes.
And you imagine all the people in your life who've affected you in some strong way. And you can even bring what you call the enemy to the page.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Yes.
Because when you do it, like, you just imagine all the beings in life, whether they're alive or not, who have influenced you.
Yes.
A lot of your influences, check this out, are what you call the enemy. Because they tested you. That was your opposition. Everything is connected to its opposite. That's what pushed you sometime. Your inner me is what caused you to become the outer me. The inner me is what created the outer me. That was created the transformation. That's what creates the transcendence vibe, because you had to go out of drama. You had to take the drama and the trauma and turn it into ashes, just like in the garden. The best food for the earth, the best fertilizer is ashes. Ashes all fall down. Ring around the roses. Do you know what they talk about? Do you know this was the Moors was singing this to the Europeans while they was trying to save themselves from that plague? Ring around the roses. Put a ring around the roses, and people had little spots on them. It looked like little roses and stuff. And the little pimples looked like a dot with a ring around it. So that was roses. You had to carry roses because roses was the highest vibration. Ring around the roses, a pocket full of posies. That was herbs, man. Posies. Ashes. They had to burn the dead bodies, but they had to take the drama and the trauma and the disease and bury it. All fall down. You got to fall down sometime to stand up. See, you got to be ready to go back to get forward, huh? You got to sometimes look at what's disagreeable to turn that into agreeable. You got to look at what's not love and turn that into love. You've got to be ready to do the alchemy. And sometimes it takes going through the burn and the pain to help you remind yourself how powerful you are. Without opposition, you could not be here.
That's right.
So when we did this mastermind group meditation, you imagine that the things that have pushed you and changed you are at this table.
Yes.
In your mind. You're doing it in your mind. And you tell them what you're going through right now. I'm dealing with such and such. Do any of you have anything to say?
Right.
Now, they may not say anything at that moment.
Right.
But if you just be quiet, within the next week, you're going to get notions. You might be on the elevator and somebody say something to somebody else on the elevator. That's the answer to your question. You may be at the farmer's market, which you need to be at more of them right now than grocery stores. Go to the farmer's market, find them, because that's where the real food is at.
That's where the real food.
You may hear somebody talking about a fruit or vegetable that answers the question that you asked. You might hear a child. It may come from anywhere. It may be a hawk that pops up. It may be a crow. It may be a spider in the corner. You look that spider up and look at the symbolism of the spider, or a snake. Or in my case, I was looking at the leaves falling. In the leaves, as I begin to watch the leaves fall, they begin to make a sound. And I could actually hear the leaf touching the ground when you get silent. And then they said it's a storm coming. It's a terrible storm, the worst in history. The storm of storms is coming. I got to get on an airplane. I got a trip. I got to go handle business. No, everything is going to be canceled. Forget trying to fly out on an airplane. The storm is coming straight through. It's going to destroy everything. Isn't that what they said?
Yep.
Was it Storm Helen or Helene or?
I don't know who she was.
They always got a name. If it's real bad, they name it after a woman. If it's not so bad, they just start using male names. So my point is that this journey that I'm on right now, it was everything working against it.
Yes.
Right down to it was time to leave to go to the airport. Do you know that when we were on the way to the airport, the sun came out? This was, it'd been raining for like a whole day, 24 hours, like wasn't no pause, it was just rain. The clouds opened up.
Yes.
There was hardly anybody on the plane because most people were scared.
Yes.
Dick Gregory told me one time. He said, Dr. B, he actually told a group of us, it wasn't just me, but how you listen, it's a message for you, and everything is a message for you.
That's right.
He said he was on a plane, and they told the people on the plane, look, the plane is out of control. We're about to hit a mountain. Say your prayers. This is why the plane is going through this thing. And he says, they said, say your prayer, and this is it. Whoa. And they were honest with the people on this plane. Wow. In the 60s, it was a different time. We're going to crash. They don't say that now.
Wow.
They tell you to duck and cover and get ready for a water landing on the desert. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Check this out.
Go ahead.
By the way, I got this new copper bottle. I always have a copper bottle, but this new one is off the chain. In fact, we're going to have some of these at our Transcendent event. Okay. This is a supercharged copper bottle. There's so much energy in this one. It's amazing.
Okay.
So check it out. Dick Gregory says that he was the only one on the plane encouraged. He was encouraged and encouraged. And he began to breathe and meditate. If there is a plane full of 200 and something people and everybody is in fear and inferior, you only need one person to be encouraged. When you're in encouraged mode, one person encouraged, one person at the level of love, which is 500 on the energetics field, on the energetic scale. 500 is true love. When you are there, you affect 250,000 people who are below you and not in love. One person at true love, one person at courage changes everything. He says he was that one person, and he just began to breathe and meditate and focus on driving the plane from his seat as a passenger. Do you know that the plane just missed the mountain?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
When everybody else is in fear and inferior, and you are encouraged and focused on your goal, no matter what, no matter who's talking to you, no matter how much disagreeable information you're receiving about how bad it is, and how bad the storm is going to be, you only need one person vibrating at that high level to change your journey. Every journey, y'all. Every journey. Every journey is connected to its opposite. Love is connected to hate. Up is connected to down. Black is connected to white. Dude told me the other day, well, actually, it's years ago now. I keep saying this the other day. He was talking about how bad it was in the world. That's the thing we talk about a lot, how bad it was, because the news that bleeds is the news that leads. People need to hear how bad it is.
That's right. That's what I was taught in radio. That's what I was taught in radio. Negative news is sexy.
It's sexy. That's what's going to get people.
That's what they was taught. That's what they taught us.
So I'm here to talk about the good news.
Me too.
There's some really good news. If we focus on this opportunity right now, everything changes. So what we're doing is, for the first time, I've accepted an award, which I broke a spell. And I will be accepting a lot of things, because even though you may not have accepted the award, or you may not have celebrated as much as you could, once you do it, all of a sudden, it's just like you just broke the dam. Now I'm being honored for all kinds of things that I never even heard before and saw before. Now, I might say, well, this is happening to me. No, it's happening to we. We all are being celebrated right now. You keep talking about, the brother told me the other day, he says, man, you heard about 2025? I said, yeah, man, ain't it deep? And he said, would you hear about it? I said, 2025 is a powerful year. I says, have you added up 2025? He says, no, man, I'm talking about, I said, no, I'm talking about 2025. Right. I don't know what you're talking about, and what you led to believe in your fear-basing and fear-mongering about what they're telling you, and listening to how bad it's going to be. It's going to be the greatest year of your life if you begin to transform 2025 into that numerical vibration of a 9. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
That means completion. That's so right. The enemy, right? The inner you does not want you. See, the devil inside of you really doesn't want you to be successful, because you need a sad luck story. You need pain. You need trauma. It's so normal now to have traumatic relationships and trauma bonding, and you get together and meet and mate with somebody because they got just as much trauma stories as you. We got to change that. We got to break a spell. We have a chance right now to break a spell. Yesterday, when I played on that stage, I broke a spell, because I was not ready to actually be soloing like that. I was just going to play in the background. That's how I do. I always play in the rhythm in the background. But no, I had to come out, and I stepped out. We're all doing this. I'm doing it. You're doing it. It's happening for all of us. The enemy right now is actually having their own problems. So don't let the saboteur in you stop you from transcending. That's why we said on October 6th, we're going to have 65 people who are ready, willing, and able. Come and join us in Atlanta. This is not for everybody. This is for a very powerful group of select people. VIPs only. If you don't feel like a VIP, don't come. If you feeling poor, broken, lonely, and don't come. This is for people who are ready to transcend. And there's a lot of people out there who are ready to transcend. So this event on October the 6th, we will be doing something that has never been done. I'm going to be bringing everything to the table. Listen, man, there's an elixir that I made about 3 years ago. No, actually, it's about 3 years ago. It actually was almost like a mistake in the lab. I mixed some things together that I didn't mean to mix together. So I just put it aside.
Right.
It's been sitting. It's aged. Every time I take it, I get really grounded. I get really firm. I know what I'm supposed to do. Because I use it. I'll try some of this stuff,
Right.
And it has CBD in it, by the way. So, this is a CBD. This ain't the regular CBD. This is the whole plant. Flowers, leaves, bark, the dirt around the edges of the plant, of the soil. That's all important. I ain't talking about this CBD they're selling y'all, which has been manipulated. You see? So it has CBD in it, but it's a product that's for grounding. It's an elixir that helps you stay grounded. It helps you get focused on your goal. I've been using it off and on. So I offered it to some of the staff, and they were like, man, this is crazy. Some people were rubbing it on the skin and say it was helping for inflammation. I'm like, really? Because sometimes I don't even know what the products do. I just make them. I'm channeling the information, and I just put it in a bottle. So at this event, we have just enough of this elixir for the folks there to get some. Only for the folks. This won't be on the website. This is not available to the public. You got to step out of the public and step into the private. There's a difference between public and private. Some of y'all done became too public because you talk too much. You know what I'm saying? You'd always go private. Go into yourself. This is for you. There also will be a gift bag full of some items that are very special, that are not open to the public. This event is not open to the public. It's a private, sacred event. And guess what we're going to do? So I specialize in doing the subconscious alignment.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do a group subconscious alignment. It's called it's called the foundation balance, where this by itself, clients would come to me and it would be, $300 something just to get this done. Back in the day, I don't really do it publicly anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we go down into the basement of your subconscious and we get what's down there that you didn't even know was down there and pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need to know about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's boxes of information in your subconscious that you didn't know was there.
That's right.
And trying to figure out what's there is too traumatic. So during this process, it's a guided meditation using the medicine drum, where we take you down into the basement, everybody together, and we get these boxes of information and we take them and we burn them on an altar. Let me tell you something. I don't know of any subconscious alignment that works like this. I haven't done one in years and years and years. But we're going to do a subconscious alignment on everybody that's at the Transcendence event. Everybody gets one. Like I said, just that alone,
yes, sir,
would be the price of the ticket.
Mm.
The formula, this elixir, would be the price, half the price of the ticket. Then we will be playing music. I'm going to do medicine music. We'll be doing this light therapy. I'm going to be using the light. I got the light. Where's my light? Some here. We're going to do this light healing meditation on everybody. Folks are going to get to take a picture with Dr. B, and they're going to put it in a frame right there on the spot that you can take home. You get to meet the staff of Elevation, and you get to be in a place where the vibration is so high. When you get to the place is like, Atlanta's full of these places they call vortexes, where the ley lines come together.
Yep.
In fact, you got more paranormal activity in Atlanta. Please look up Paranormal Activity Georgia or Paranormal Activity Atlanta. Two of the largest ley lines on the planet go through Atlanta. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know that.
There's one that comes from Peru, from the Great Pyramid in Peru, and goes straight through Atlanta. Because see, the spiritual chakra of the planet, they say, shifted. It used to be Tibet. But they say it shifted and went to Peru. That's the spiritual chakra, right? Which is on a ley line. It shifted. Did you know that line goes straight through Atlanta?
I didn't know that.
There's another one. Check this out. That comes from Khufu, the Great Pyramid. That line also goes straight through Atlanta and they make a cross. Did you know that Atlanta is the only city east of the Rocky Mountains that's 1,000 feet above sea level?
I heard that. No, I remember that.
And Stone Mountain,
that's where we at.
The largest exposed crystal on the earth, made of granite and another mineral. I forgot the name of it.
It starts with an M. I forgot the name. It starts with an M.
And wars have been fought.
Yep.
There's a book called Holy Stone Mountain. If you can find it.
I got to get it. I got to get
Holy Stone Mountain. I think you don't even get the PDF. The book, the first page is going to blow your mind. Holy Stone Mountain.
Holy Stone Mountain. Let me put that in here.
See, this is why people say, well, Dr. B, where do you live? Well, I'm in between. I live in my skin, actually. It's the only place I can live. In between Los Angeles and Atlanta is where I am most of the time. Where do I live? I'm not really from here. I'm a visitor, literally. I'm not really from the earth.
You know the author of the book, sir? You know the author of the book? You remember?
Yeah, I don't know who the author is. Just look it up. There's only one. Holy Stone Mountain book.
Okay, Holy Stone Mountain.
We're travelers. We're travelers. All of us.
Yes.
So when we say where we're from and what we went through, that's just a part of the journey, because every journey is course correction. You got to keep changing your course, changing your story. And if you keep telling the old story and if you keep staying in misery, right, you become a miser. You become a pomper. You become broken when actually it's time to take what we've been through and use that as fuel as who we're going to be. So Project 2025, all you got to do, watch this.
Yes, sir.
I have a question. Let me interview you for 1 second. Would that be okay?
Yes, of course, sir. Should I go to the board?
Please, for us all. Because we're talking about Transcendence. See, first of all, the reason we're having this event on October 6th,
yes, sir,
is to prepare certain enlightened ones who are ready for what he's about to say. Because you got to get ready before the event. So we're on the event horizon of 2025.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We are.
Brother King Simon.
Yes, sir.
Can you break down the power of 2025 for us?
Can I go to the board, sir, if you don't mind?
Please go to the board.
See, there's two ways that I look at it, Dr. B. We can look at it with the 2025, which equals a 9. Actually, I look at it 3 ways. We can look at it 2 plus 25, which equals 45, which also is a 9. I'm doing it for a reason. Or I can look at 20 and 25, which means awakening and endurance and spiritual experience and digging deep. I can look at 2 different numbers, and because of the 45, 4 and 5 is the number of communication, not only clear, focused, spiritual, and adaptable communication, which equals up to the 9, which 9 represents the highest vibration of staying on the highest level of thought and not getting into any confusion and contention with anybody or anything. Because 9 is the highest intuitive number on the single digit chart, and anything that adds the 9 reflects to it. Anytime 9 times anything, it reflects it again. So that is a high number, but like I said, I look at it from a holistic perspective. That's why I gave you the 45. That's why I gave you the 20 and the 25, because the number 20 is the number of the awakening to discernment and awaken to some new purpose. 25 is the number of endurance, and also the elevation of experience. And when you add it all together, that 45 brings about communication, 2 communication numbers on higher levels that people will do. And then 9 is the higher divine number of completion, endings, finishing, job, dreams fulfilled on a whole nother level. Much more I can talk, but I just want to make sure I cover that ground, sir. Did that make sense?
So,
yes, sir.
How does this connect?
Yes.
To us all? How does that 9?
Yes.
Then that 2025, how, let's make it usable for each person. How can each person tap into this? Because that event is on the horizon. We want to allow people, like in martial arts, to be ready for what's to come. And why all the confusion in politics and in the news to keep you away from tapping into the 9? Take it away, brother.
Well, now, first of all, your event is happening in October, and it's very important that we think about that, because remember what I've been telling people on my channel: September, October, November, December are the sneak peeks months of what is to come next year. It reminds you, it's because in September, you're reflecting what we're leaving 2024, going into where we're moving into in 2025. So there's a reflection moment right now, but there's also an assertive moment. And if everybody pay attention to the 9, because the 9 is the highest intuitive frequency that is supposed to keep you on a higher mental frequency, a mental higher level, if everybody use it, because what happens, the negative of the 9 is destruction and war. And that's what they're trying to penetrate your mind with, to go down that road, when in actuality, the higher vibration of the 9 is where everybody, because the 9 is the number of humanity, being of service to each other, being of service to your brother or your sister, or in any level. And forgiveness, the number 9 is the number of forgiveness, also on another level. So it's important that everybody think on a forgiving level, think on a higher level, and don't let people drag you down mentally through movie, music, or media. Don't let them, because media, music, and movies are all mental numbers, but the 9 succeeds over that level and take you to a higher level. That's why it represents higher vibration and higher things that you're supposed to accomplish, and finishing the job, and keep on finishing what you start. Don't start and stop and start and stop, but always stay on the higher vibratory level. And the number 9 in its creation, how it looks, is feminine and masculine. So it has to have balance. You have to have balance. Just looking at the curves and looking at the line, that deals with balance, depending on how you write it. Sometimes it could be a full feminine, because some people write 9 like that, which is all curve. And then in another aspect, it could be feminine and masculine, bringing about the balance of humanity from a perspective. Go ahead, sir.
So a lot of the music,
yes, sir,
that I've been channeling lately is in the frequency of concert pitch A 432.
Yes.
A 432. When you tune your instruments to A 432, it taps you into the earth vibration. It taps you into the resonance of the planet.
Yes.
It is one of the harmonics of the rotation and the vibration of the earth, because the earth makes a sound. Can you please break down 432 for us?
You know, 432 adds up to a number 9. 432 adds up to a number 9. Not only, and because A is there, it adds up to a completion, because that number A adds until the 9 represents the number 10, and that brings about completion or another cycle coming into play. But because you want a 432, which breaks down to a 9, 4 represents clear, disciplined communication from the mind. It's a mental number. 3 represents jovial and happy communication from a fire number. It's a fire number that brings it, and it's a feminine number in one aspect, but known as a masculine number in another aspect. And 2 represents the intuition and bringing in together of the companionship and the togetherness of all of that's happening to make the 9, which deals with completion. So it's a very important frequency that we're dealing with, because you just said it's a high frequency, and it adds up to the number 9. Makes sense to me on all levels.
So,
yes, sir.
The music that we will be channeling at the Transcendent event will be about 432, the 9. In order for that nymph to crawl out of the water, in order for the imaginal cells, please look up imaginal cells, the imaginal cells to be turned on within the body of the animal, the creature, the being, it must hit a 9, and a 9 rings a bell. In fact, if you look at some of the ads that we have on IG for when we're showing the event center, and at the end, I ring this bell. The bell is in the frequency range of 432. There's a bell that's at this property that we will be ringing, that rings naturally at 432. And if you haven't looked it up, I'd like you to look up why they got rid of the bells in most of North America. Remember, there used to be bells that would ring at 12 noon and 6 o'clock at the churches. You don't hear them. Why they broke the Liberty Bell? Because the bells were tuned to sacred frequencies. Did you also know that, you know how these churches have these big pipe organs? I'm not talking about the regular organ, not the B3, but the ones with the huge pipes that are the size of the whole church. They just like, yes.
I found this at an old thrift shop.
Yes. Yes. So the church, Catholic Church, had these organs which would pump air through these pipes. And they thought through doing research that this was just for spirituality. Did you know that these pipe organs actually were used to keep the people in the whole town or the village in tune and on focus for the goal of the village, the goal of the people, because these certain frequencies keep you goal-minded. When you're goal-minded, right? When you have a goal, you become golden. You become a golden one. By having a goal and realizing that there's a treasure map in every cell. It's in your DNA. And when you begin to when you begin to respond to certain frequencies, the treasure map comes online and you become goal-minded.
Right.
So the music that I create called medicine music is about being goal-minded. Even the product that I have, the Platinum Life Elixir, which is online right now, is platinum, which has a certain frequency, gold, iridium, and palladium, and copper and silver in a high spin state. These are called M state or monoatomic elements, which are very rare. A lot of people are into the gold water and all that, and the gold water is good. I'm saying we took it to another level almost this was in the year, 2025. I mean, not 2025. I keep going back. 1995 or 96 or maybe somewhere in there. Maybe it's early 2000. No, it was actually early 2000s.
Okay.
We decided to take humic acid and fulvic acid, right, which help to change your aging clock. They help to change your whole, you don't age as much because we're working with the telomeres by repairing telomeres.
Right.
But we added platinum, gold, iridium. Why is iridium such an important thing? Because Haiti has the largest iridium mine on the world. The second largest is in South America. Iridium is the time clock. Iridium is the mineral that keeps your timing perfect. So you know how to know when and when to know how. You know how to conduct yourself when you have enough iridium. But you got to be able to get iridium from your food. What food you know have got iridium in it? Nothing in North America. But you go down there in Haiti and those foods, they got iridium. That's why they knew it was a certain time when to break free from oppression. They're the only ones that did it like that. And they used drums, and those drums were tuned to sacred frequencies that helped those people get the message all over the island that it was time to break free. And even when the greatest generals and leaders and warriors of the world came to fight them, they kicked their ass again. That's why we got them, America has them under punishment now, and the rest of the world, because they don't want you to ever break free from oppression. Because when you break free from your own oppression, you become the commander of your world. So there's musical tones like A432 that helps you break free and complete your vibration, because you've been going through development. We're all going through development. So what you went through is what you went through to help create the ashes. Ashes all fall down. Let go of that dust. So 432, certain elements, certain crystals, certain sounds, certain tones, they trigger you so that your imaginal cells come online. Same thing with the butterfly. The caterpillar, all of a sudden, it gets a frequency hits. And inside of his DNA are imaginal cells, and they turn on, and the caterpillar begins to die. And within that cocoon, the imaginal cells are what creates the butterfly. But check it out. Show you how important this is. The butterfly and the dragonfly have two things in common. First, they go through metamorphosis. Second, the minute that the caterpillar dies, the first thing the imaginal cells do is they create the antennas. The first thing to be created is the antennas.
Wow.
The first thing is to be created in people is the pineal antenna. The first thing that the dragonfly does when it pops out of that little shell, its antennas shoot straight up. Why?
Feel out what's happening, right?
Because you need to know what's happening and who you are, where you're going, and what you're here to do, so you can be goal-minded. You need to be listening carefully, not to just what they're yelling and telling you in the news, because the good news is in the wind.
Right.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer, it's in the wind. It's in the flapping of the bird's wings. It's in the sounds of nature. It's in the unfolding of a flower. Have you ever watched and listened to a flower unfold? It takes patience. Everything has rhythm. Everything is drums. This whole thing is within a giant drum. The universe is a drum. It's an orchestra.
Yes.
It's an orchestra.
Yes.
So every notice that we're receiving is like a red notice saying, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Why is it a red notice? Because that's the root chakra. Your root is telling you, right, how to create the fruit. Your roots, what you've been through is what's going to create the fruits. How do you fix the plant? You got to feed the root. When you repair the root and you tell a new story about your past and you use the alchemical story, when you realize that you're calling on a group of beings to help you, you're masterminding by using your root, your feet, your vibration to connect you to the earth so that now you can create the highest vibration and complete the fruit. The fruit is the 9. Right. The fruit is born. The fruit is taking you to the next vibration where you have seeds. So the seeds becomes the 10. The seeds fall. And now you make more plants from the falling of those seeds. We are at the time where we cannot wait till 2025 hits to get yourself together. You want to do that? Then you keep waiting till you see. Because some things are already happening on the event horizon.
Already happening.
And we're proud to be here and thankful to be here at this time.
Yes, sir.
To give us messages. Billy Carson.
Yeah, just went through what he went through. Yeah.
He just went through a very challenging thing. That was a part of his development, unfoldment.
Yep.
I could feel it. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew when he sent me this message in a way he'd never sent me a message that there was an emergency happening.
Yep.
And who actually carried him and saved him?
His wife. Yeah.
And a whole lot of folks had issues with his wife because he chose his wife.
Yeah.
That's how nosy people are about who somebody else is dating and who they doing with and, whose mushrooms they picking. You know what I'm saying? That ain't none of your business. Mind your business and business your mind. And send people who are here right now who are messengers. There's a message in that happening. About how his wife was prepared to carry him. You know how small this woman is compared to him?
Exactly. Yep.
But we got talk. So we got this talk because we got the internet now. Folks just want to talk. I'm saying there's a whole nother talk and there's a whole nother message.
Yes, sir.
432. On October the 6th, I'll be putting out a vibration of 432. I'll also be using the other one, which is a 528, which is the heart frequency.
Right.
The products that we're going to be giving out, everything, we're going to use this energy to create a vortex. So everybody, right, can't come to this, but everybody will be there. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
This won't be something that will be, online. This ain't going to be streamed. This is for the people who make it here are the seekers. The people who are ready to invest in not only themselves, but the world around them, they will be there.
Yeah.
On October the 6th, in Atlanta, at a very sacred, powerful place and time.
Right.
We will be creating the Transcendent experience.
Yep.
I would like whoever is ready and willing and able to invest. And here's another thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Whenever you give money, energy, or time, there's something that you need to say.
That's right.
Return 1,000-fold.
Yes.
You know how folks give out a gift? And they wonder, did you get it? You didn't thank me. They didn't even thank me for the gift. Stop asking for a thank you. You give because you desire to give. Don't expect anything in return from them, but you will get it from the universe.
Right.
Whenever you put out money, just say return 1,000-fold.
Return 1,000-fold.
When you give offerings to nature, which we should be doing,
that's right.
Return 1,000-fold. When you give energy, return 1,000-fold.
Return 1,000-fold.
If you give anything, tithing, if you tithing, just say return 1,000-fold. You write a check. Write that check. Circle the number, the physical numerical number, and bring that line down through your signature line. Let that be the sign of your nature. Return 1,000-fold. You pull out a credit card or a debit card. Before you push enter, before you put your code or whatever you got to put in there, say return 1,000-fold.
That's right.
It will return to you. It will return to forever.
That's right.
So let's all of us give ourselves a round of applause for being here.
Yes, let's do that.
We asked for this. We don't remember sometimes asking for this.
That's right.
For this situation, these relationships. We may not remember asking to be here when we was in a whole nother realm, but we chose our family. We chose our challenges. We even chose our enemy. We chose our fights. Why? Why would you choose something like this? To make you better, because only the masters choose the high road. They only choose the drama. A master will go to hell to get to heaven, because that's how you get there. You may have to go to hell. So I'm saying, or you sit and talk about how bad it is. Look at that as a part of your unfoldment, a part of your journey. This is a part of your masters talking to you, where you become the master.
Yes.
When you look at all the things you've learned from everything, even that rock and that pebble and that seashell you picked up at the beach. Do you know there's a message in that? Why did you pick up that one particular one? I still got the sand from the beach down in Florida that I got one day when I was going through my thing. I had a nervous breakdown many, many years ago on the beach in Florida. And I picked sand. I put it in a little jar to remind me of that breakdown. Why did I have to go through that breakdown? Because in order to get up, you got to go down. Yeah. In order to break down, you got to break up.
That's right.
See, somebody told me the other day, they said, well, I had a terrible breakup. I said, what do you mean? How could a break up be terrible? So, well, I broke up you broke up. That means you rose. You're to the next level. But they broke my heart. You allowed somebody to break your heart, and your heart sometimes got to get broken. Why? So you can mend it. When you learn how to mend your broken heart, mend your broken dreams, mend your broken talk, and start getting together and become the glue and get into the gluon state. So that's when we start about quantum physics. The gluon state is a state that you create on a magnetic level that attracts you to the things that you truly desire. You got to create the gluon state. But if you keep on getting stuck on the past, you get passed out, you get knocked out. Only the best are going to do this. You got to become a master. Get to self-mastery now. You can do it. You will do it. Yeah. Otherwise, you just keep coming back. That's why some of y'all say, I've been here a lot of times. Well, maybe that's a sign that you've been going to school over and over. And sometimes you got to go, stay back. Don't they used to keep you back in school?
Yep.
Man, we had a dude, man, he was he was like the top dude on the football team. And he was like almost like 20-something years old, still in high school, because he never could graduate. They kept keeping him back, right? But back in them days, they would keep you back till you got it. Now, leave no student left behind. Pass them on.
Pass them on.
He got an F. Well, let's make it let's grade everybody on a curve. Let's make F the better grade. A B. Is you crazy? Have you snapped? These folks can't even read, man. These folks can't even do basic math, and they got out of I graduated. I got a degree. What kind of degree? Them degrees is heat. You're going to burn up out here because your degree was based on false ideas being real. You're living in a place that's not real. And you could just get you an online presence, your profile. You can just make yourself look good and put a filter on it. You can put on eyelashes, hips, butts, breasties. You can put on everything fake to fake up. But guess what? Nature knows what's real, because it's about to get real right here. 2025 is about getting real. You're going to need to transcend your current situation to get to the next level. It's time to raise. There will be no resurrection without death. I'm going to say it again. There will be no resurrection without death. You got to be ready to kill your old self Send that sucker down the river in a basket. Do a ritual, a ceremony to let your old self go, because you cannot crawl out of the waters and the swamps of pain and misery and all of that stuff where victim voting victocrat. Folks is voting victocrat. Which party you with? I'm with the victocratic party. Scared. You have to vote for yourself. Select yourself. Be very selective. Watch what you're hearing.
Right.
Listen to at the awards ceremony. If you could go check out the Forbidden Knowledge Awards, I told a story about the 3 frogs. Go check it out.
That's right.
You better be that 3rd frog. You got to be blind, deaf, and dumb to opposition. You got to realize that it's there to help you. So this is all about transcendence.
Yes, sir.
Become the 432, the 9.
Yeah, that's a 9.
What's 528?
It's actually 15, which is the 6. So you already see the balance of the healing balance. You already got the balance. I already read that number a long time ago.
That's the yin and the yang.
Yin and the yang, brother. Exactly.
That's the symbol of Pisces, huh? Right? You can see them both in there, but it's coming out of that. We're coming out of that time where we become the 9. We become the 10. And if you got 9, you got all the numbers.
Yes, you got all the numbers. And you know what's so funny? That particular day adds up to a number 6. That whole day, October 6, 2024, adds up to 2040, and 2 + 0 + 4 + 0 = 6. You got all the balance, all the healing frequency that's going to be there. And your alignment numbers are 6, being born January 5th. That alignment numbers are 6. It's all about that healing. Your name, Doctah, the way you spell it, adds up to 24, which is a 6. I did it on the board one time.
I remember.
That healing. Healing.
They told you 666 was the devil.
That they try to say.
But they did that on purpose. Why they do that on purpose?
To scare our ass from the healing frequency.
To scare you from yourself.
Yeah. The healing.
So you think that 6 is a bad number. I told this dude one time, he kept talking about the devil. I said, what's the devil? Let me call the devil. Since I got on my phone, I dialed 666 666 6666. I said, I answered the phone, and they said, there's no such number. Whatever they be saying, yeah, number does not exist. 666 666 6666. The devil is the devil. That's the part of you that's sick. And what do they say in Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill? He asked the devil, because the devil said, I'm in control of school. I'm in control of the church. I created the church. That's what the devil says. I created modern medicine and pharmaceuticals. He says, I created sports and all this stuff to create what? The person who is not focusing on themselves. The devil created that. And the guy says, well, okay, well, what about God? How do I? He says, the only way to focus on the prime creator is to not drift. The only way to get rid of the devil, is to never drift. No more wandering.
That's right.
No more walking and wandering for 40 years in the brushes and the rushes and just following the blind, deaf, and dumb, looking for somebody to help you. It's inside of all of us. We all have the imaginal selves. We are all going through a transcendent state. So those people who will be at this event will be chosen for this curated time to create not just a special healing code for the people there, but we will be transcending this to the entire world. This will go out to the entire globe. Everyone will feel it.
Yeah.
You have to see the butterflies and the bees that are living in this place that we're going to be in. It's about being. It's about each of us realizing that we are full of numbers and mathematics and angles and angels and angles of light. We are the arc angles of light. It's in you. Those stories in those books, they're all good, but they're all about you.
Right.
They're analogies about what we could do.
Right.
It could be Bible, it could be Quran, Bhagavad Gita, it could be the Emerald Tablets. I mean, it keeps going on and on and on. I didn't name everything. There's lots of books that have come, but those books represent our DNA because the two, in the two O's in books, they tie it together, right? And when they tie it together, that is the knowledge of ourselves. Do you know the DNA is also called the books?
Mm.
Because all the knowledge is in them.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing about junk DNA, that's because the people, right, who are only focused on what they could see, which was a very small, because, you know, we can only see a very small spectrum of light.
Right.
Okay. We can only see less than, I think it's like 1 degree of light of what information is truly out there. That's all they could see. So they said, well, the DNA is controlling everything. But now we know that the DNA is an open book.
Mm.
The junk DNA is open and can be programmed by you. It's programmed by your environment. Your environment becomes what you're eating, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you're talking about, what your flow is, what's your rhythm, what's your sound, what's your song. Because every time you talk, it's a song. What song you singing today? Huh? Is it an old time, you know, sad spiritual from back in the day talking about slavery, let my people go? Is that the song? Or is it jovial and up? It's moving, right? It's got rhythm. It's taking you to another level, like that 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. That says, let's get up and go. Let's go. Let's move.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
So this is where we are now, when we have the ability to change our actual DNA.
Yes.
Your DNA is not determining your life. Only maybe 10% of it. That's your hair color, your sound, what you look like. You know, you talk like your great grandfather. You look like your brothers and sisters. That's only 10%. The rest of it is open, and it responds and it reacts and unfolds and expresses itself based upon your environment. And guess who creates your environment? You do. You're emitting energy. So time, right? Time, it's got a lot of people locked down because they live in time. All you need to do is turn it around.
Emit.
Yes. Time is an 180-degree statement. To make it a cycle or a circle or a cipher, you need to get the other side of it. Emit. It's not about the time. It's about what you do with the time, how you use time, how you glow. And when you glow in time, you become a LED, a light emitting diode, a light emitting being. And now you're not just waiting on the photons from the photon band to come to you. You're sending photons back because the question is, you keep asking and asking for a download, right? Everybody talking about, I'm getting a download. My question is, what's your upload? You only get a download to the same degree as your upload. What is an upload, Dr. B? This is when you send, first of all, celebrate what you've already got. Vibrate your cells, right? And send back a message. And when you celebrate, that brings on serotonin, right? When you send messages out in desire, in action, you feel what I'm saying? It's not about you just getting. It's about you receiving what you sent out. Yes. A lot of folks is getting what they sent out. You're getting back what you got, that talk about how bad it is. And if 80% of your talk is about the problem, you're going to get more, 80 more problems.
Exactly. Exactly. Doc. Hold your horses, bro.
You got to flip it. You have to send out and expect.
Yes, sir.
By sending out an upload. Huh? And only talk about the problem if you have to 20% of the time.
Yes, sir.
And 80% of the time, let's talk about the solution.
Yes.
Now we're talking about alchemy. You got to be able to make a solution.
80-20.
What is 80-20. The solution? Let's be solutionaries. Let's stop looking back to look forward. Yeah. You driving your life, if you driving your car and you constantly in the rear view mirror, guess what? You will crash. You only look every once in a while up into those rear view mirrors. And they even tell you, what's it say on the mirror, Brother Rich? I mean, Brother Rich.
Brother King, yeah. Well, I know we family.
Brother King, Brother Simon. What does it say on the mirror? Somebody put it in the chat. On your mirror, it says something. Objects.
Oh, you mean? Okay, on your car mirror, right? Yes.
What does it say? What's it say?
It seems to be closer than it appears. That's what it says.
Objects in the mirror.
In the mirror seems to be closer than it appears.
Appear to be closer than they are.
Than they are.
Whoa! You're talking about metaphysics. Did the car just told you that? The car. The car is the car. The car. The carriage is the car. Huh? Spirit, ra. Movement. That's the car.
Right.
Some people is correctures. Huh? Watch out now. Watch out now. Looking through the rearview mirror, looking in your past,
yes,
the items, the ideas, the experiences seem to be closer than they actually are.
Yeah, to be closer than they actually are.
So why keep looking back to go forward? Those are just sticks in the road. Those are just ideas. Those are markers to let you know where you are now. And if you're here on this program, then you've already changed.
Yeah.
If you're here right now,
yes,
you've already changed. Accept that. This is Sunday.
Yeah.
The man told me to come on at 11:11.
Yes.
I forgot all about it, to be honest. He been calling me. Dr. B, you're gonna be on. You're gonna be on. There's been so many things happening in Dr. B's life. I'm like, well, what program? I don't remember. King who? Oh yeah, I remember this character.
Jamaica, from Jamaica.
If something told me to sit up, right? Because I'm in a whole nother state of mind. And I woke up and I was like, wait a minute. I looked at my phone. You coming on today? I was like, coming on today. Oh man.
You're in California, right? You're in California right now.
I might be.
No problem. I don't want to hear
we like to always talk about where we at.
Forget it. You're right.
People know how to biolocate.
You're right.
I am in my skin, brother.
You're right. Let's stay focused. You're right.
All that about why I'm not really. This is all an illusion anyway. If I'm on a ball, which way is up?
That's right. Which way is up? Well, no, Doc, I'm not gonna hold you too. I mean, we went in 2 hours now, man. But yo, Doc. People, Transcendence tickets. Go get them at elevationtime.com, but also his profound elixirs and products that he has on there, man. Go and support Dr. B 100%. Remember, as soon as you click that purchase button, remember, it's coming back to you 1,000 folds. 1,000 folds. Remember what the man said. Dr. B, any last words of prayer or meditation for our people, man? Please.
Well, I have no last words, but what I have is new words.
New words. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You've got to choose.
Yes.
It's the time to choose your frequency. It's the time to choose your outcome. Your income is tied to your outcome. Your download is tied to your upload. You must be the one to take charge. Without looking for validation from your friends and your family and your group, you must go alone.
Yes.
Follow the path. Get on the road with people who are on the road going to the place that you're creating, having a gold mindset, using the treasure map within to lead us towards the things we truly desire. Don't ask your neighbors. Ain't that a song too?
Yeah.
Don't ask your neighbors. And don't let the past go to your head. Remember that one? Don't let it go to your head.
No, that's right. Don't let it go to your head.
Choose to live in courage. One of the most powerful things I could say to anyone, and a lady asked me yesterday after I played, she says, is there anything, any message that you could give us to help us at this challenging time? Forgiveness.
Yeah.
If you cannot let go, then that's it. There's nothing we can do for you. When you finally let go, and when you allow yourself, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfections, and I'm thankful for my life.
That was you, brother. I always quote this at end of all my shows. I quote that all the time.
Forgive yourself for what? Don't make any difference. You ain't got to go down in that basement and get that box out.
That's right.
Forgive your family for what?
That's right.
And your friends and others, everyone.
Right.
For what? For imperfections. Nobody's perfect. You think these people is perfect?
Yeah.
It's all a test. This is like an obstacle course. Obstacle course Earth. Obstacle course Gaia.
Mm.
You live in North America, obstacle course Turtle Island. Optical, it's an obstacle course, but it's an optical course.
Mm-hmm.
But what we have to learn is to get our vision and focus from above, like the birds can do. Remember the falcon. Falcons do not hang out with pigeons.
That's right.
Falcons fly higher than any other being.
That's right.
Falcons fly above a storm. Even the super tornado Helene or whatever they calling it. Falcons fly right over that.
Mm-hmm.
We must now be like falcons and fly above the storms, even the ones we created. Mm-hmm. Fly above your disagreeable past. Fly high to complete your message. Listen to the rhythms of 432 to heal your body. Listen to the sounds of 528 to create and correct your heartbeat. Be the transcendence. Begin it now. Whether you're at the event or not, be the event. Mm. And at the time of the event, and this is deep, wherever you are on the planet, the event is going to begin October 6th at 5 o'clock. Go into meditation wherever you are on the planet. Because like I say, a chosen 65 people, I think they said they got one more seat now, will be there. Mm. And what we're going to do is begin to create a living crystal, a living liquid crystal on that day. This has never been done like this before, using sound and music and talk and communion and coming together to vibrate and be the vibration, to create what is on the event horizon, to be the 2025.
Yes.
We are selecting and electing, and we are the vote and the votage to elect ourselves. We have to be the electoral college, the selectoral college. Huh? Yeah. That's in ourselves. They keep telling you it's all about you. It's all about we. And when we get out of me, we become we.
Yes.
So I am glad, and I would like to celebrate, this particular moment. Congratulations. Yes. I see that right now, folks are over there, getting a ticket. I'd like to thank you all for getting a ticket. Thank you all for being down with what what we've been putting up with for all this time. I'd like to thank you, Brother King.
Yes, sir.
And all your mathematical knowledge.
Thank
Billy
you.
Carson, Elizabeth Carson for Forbidden Knowledge. Brother Rich, Black Magic 363. And the person who actually put me on and forced me to go public was Carl Nelson in 1994. Carl Nelson. And all of the folks, Dick Gregory.
Yes.
So many people we could name who are actually here now. Because there is no death. There's only life, and it keeps going from level to level, to degree to degree. It's all a musical celebration of frequency and life.
That's right.
So transcendence to everyone. Let's move out of. To transcend means to move out in a way and up, you see, which is a part of alchemy. So I'll see those of you who will be there on the 6th. Congratulations. Choose yourself.
Yes.
Choose yourself. Choose yourself now. And don't wait to change. Never wait. Because the more time you take to wait, the more weight has on you.
Yes.
Gene Key 55. We're crawling out.
That's right.
Of the swamp. And becoming dragonflies.
Yes.
Butterflies. We are all flyers.
Yes.
We're all here together at this time to celebrate this time.
Yes, sir.
Rhythm. Let's get in time. It's your time to emit. Much love.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, love you, man. Love you, Doc. Love you, Doc.
Remember, it's about we.
Right. I'm gonna play the commercial that you have here on Instagram right now, so people can see it, and it's going to be played right now. Here we go.
October 6th. What? Transcendence, music, vibration, healing, metamorphosis, alchemy, live, right here, right now. Are you ready? Let's go.
Get your tickets, family. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Baba, thank you very much for the love and the graciousness, man. Thank you very much, my brother. I love you, man. Love you.
Thank you, brother. Travel light.
Travel light. Thank you. That's our brother, Baba, the one, the only Doctah B Sirius. Let's get that applause button kicking right now. Man, we're going to get that applause button kicking. There we go. Remember, he'll also be at the Dick Gregory event that I'm doing on October 13th. It's all right. I wanted him to promote the October 6th. I want him to focus on that, but he's going to be also at the Dick Gregory event. If you want to come out to that event on October 13th, he's also one of the guest speakers for this event in Georgia. But I want y'all to go to that Transcendent event on October the 6th. They only got 65 seats. I got 200, and I have 150 to 200 seats, but he has 165 seats at this particular event. So go to their website, elevationtime.com, and go get those tickets now before it sell out. I know they're selling quick, man. My tickets are already in the cart, so I know what that is. Boom. And if you want to come to our sessions with him, Brother Rich, Red Pill and Blue Pill, Tassili Ma'at, Lorenzo Sanford, High Heels. Of course, it's going to be food by Mama's Cosmic Kitchen with Blue Pill and his wife. And we have the one, the only Baba Ashra Kwesi closing out that day. Because the early part is going to be the tribute to Dick Gregory. And then the latter part is going to be Baba Ashra Kwesi and Sister Mira Kwesi. Get your tickets and remember, children are absolutely free. Children from the age of 0 to 17 are absolutely free. If they're noisy, you can carry them out and walk them through the mall, because it's going to be at the new Black Wall Street Ballroom, the new Black Wall Street Ballroom, where Brother Rich had the event. We're going to have it in the ballroom and not that bigger area. We're going to have it in a smaller ballroom. So please come on out. Doctah B is one of the featured speakers. As you can see, go to my link tree. If you want to be a vendor, I have a few more vendor space there. No food vendors, and that's it. But if you have clothing and you got good holistic jewelry, come on out. So it's going to be a great event, family. Yeah, we broke down that number 9, baby. But what I wanted to finish saying about that 4-3-2 energy, 4 is communication, 3 is expansion, 2 is intuition. Communicate, expand intuitively. So when that 4-3-2 energy starts playing, and what Doctah B has to play, and remember what he was speaking about, the 5-2-8. 5-2-8. That is adapting. That is intuition again. And this is discipline. All this, adapt, be intuitive, but also be disciplined. And then it adds up to the number 15, which is the 6, which brings about balance, healing, truth, justice, reciprocity, forgiveness. When you play those 5-2-8 frequencies, or when you play that 4-3-2, which equals a 9, which deals with humanity. Humanity. So understand the frequencies and what they add up to are very important to pay attention to. I want to thank Brother Doctah B for coming up. And I just gave y'all simple meanings. It goes much more deeper than that. But I just gave y'all simple meanings for those frequencies that he's going to be playing during the Transcendence. So I want all of you to transcend. Remember, if you're in Brooklyn, on October 27th, I will be in Brooklyn with these 2 beautiful metaphysical teachers, Tamika Royale and the Amira Hassan, with special guest Joshua Saraz coming through, Lloyd Strayhorn, Sister Kafunya is coming through. It's going to be a whole host. If you like martial arts, support the Martial Arts Groove happening on November the 9th. Don't forget, if you want some tarot done, make sure you contact Carrie Ann Ingram. Look, CarrieAnnIngram.com. Also remember, if you want to work from home and you want to get paid, do part-time or full-time work, and you work from home because you're tired of working outside in the street with people, hey, text this person right now at 770-861-9906. And if you want to save money on your car insurance, call this number 877-855-8111 and make sure you put that rep ID in there right now at FTT2E. And if you want some good music or your audiobook done, contact my son's studio at Green Studio NYC or call him at 929-456-3009. Big up to Lloyd Strayhorn all the time, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Big up to my mods, Color Curiosity, Feng Shui Your Life. Call her to take a consultation on how to feng shui your life with color therapy, feng shui, wardrobe, feng shuiing, all of that. 813-325-4205. And also another one of my moderators, the one, the only Dr. Shakira Moore. Hit her up at Linktree/Holistica Healer. Remember, she's a master iridologist, nutritionist, advisor, and spiritual teacher. And you can also text her at 570-972-9308. Remember, Nicholas is celebrating 50 years. They got an event coming up. They got many major events coming up. Hit her up at nicholasbrooklyn.com. And if you want to book a session with me, a numerovational session, all you have to do is text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022, and I will send you the details. And thanks to people that's sending me Cash App. Oh, man, thank you very much, Paris. Big up to Paris. Big up to Alba. Thank you very much for sending Cash App or sending me any type of donation to the channel. Thank you very much. Remember, you can get my books on Amazon or go to my Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. And remember, family, you can get my hardcover. And when you buy a hardcover through Cash App or PayPal, I will give you send you a free Billy Carson book. I'm telling you right now. And do remember, I got Alicia coming up on the 6th. I got Alicia coming up on October 6th. The metaphysics of the destruction of Generation X. So pay attention to your children, your babies. Pay attention to them. They're trying to destroy them. And if you want to learn how to make candles, make sure you hit up this sister right here. She's doing a candle making shop. I see she might do it online and she's doing it in person. 470-954-2713. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and talk to Dr. B. He dropped that knowledge that you will not find in college. For it's time for all of you to be yourself. Be great, be strong, be successful, be wonderful, be healed. Y'all got to heal yourself, man, because the more you heal yourself is the more that you will reveal yourself on who you are and what you're supposed to do and your mission on this planet. Let me say something. Recently, I posted a recent interview, an old interview with Shahrazad Ali on my Instagram. And women was attacking Shahrazad Ali for what she said from her perspective. So it goes to show me, if you could attack people, attack that woman for her noticing things way before it's time, about our women becoming men or women trying to act like men and all that kind of stuff. If you can attack her, even at the old age that she is, she's about to be 80 years old soon. She got like 4 more years. And that's an old interview that I did. It just goes to show me that both men and women need healing, because what she said in that video, look on my Instagram, what she said in that video was absolutely true from her perspective, because our women and our men, but our women are still thinking like little girls because of the enemy. The enemy has put that in us. And it's important to rise above it, like Dr. B says. Rise above the past and learn about your enemy. Learn about the dark side so you can shine that light and be your better self. Learn new information that's going to take you to the next level. Because what Shahara said, Azad said, Ali, from her 90s and 80s and 60s perspective is absolutely what she's seen from her perspective. And now we are living in a world of women that are degrading themselves and being very deplorable on stage, on IG, on OnlyFans. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Exactly what she said in her books. So I see And I have friends of mine attacking the whole situation too. Attacking. One lady said, I am sick and tired of that lady. And I said in the chat, I said, if you are sick and tired of her, that means there's a sickness in you, because she is absolutely right from her perspective as an elder. And I remember I had on my show, she said, this is not old school, baby. This is true school. Do you know Sister Shahrazad Ali been married twice, and both of her husbands died? One died and she married another one, and he died also, because she was married. She had older men. She married and she has 12 children that she takes care of. A lot of y'all don't even know that. That woman was so powerful, and she had powerful men around her that gave the battery behind her back and told her to teach the truth from her perspective. A lot of y'all don't even know that Sister Shahrazad Ali has taken care of 12 children after both of her husbands passed on, and she took care of children that they had from their previous relationship. Y'all don't even know that. Tell me how good you can do to take care of 12 children of even the husbands that had their own previous marriages. She took care of those children also. How many of you would do that? So y'all dogging out Sister Shahrazad Ali and don't even know her walk and her journey. Don't even know her walk and her journey. She taught her truth, and her truth sold books. And sure enough, it healed many, as well as many women and men might despise it. It is what I remember. Ian Levanzant used to speak against her, and now Ian Levanzant is saying, "Wait a minute, our women has become men in skirts." This is what Ian Levanzant said on the Breakfast Club. She used to speak out against what Shahrazad Ali was saying, which was basically the same thing, that our women are becoming men. But now Ian Levanzant, Doctah B Sirius' good friend, has said the same thing on the Breakfast Club just last year. So don't play. That means you need healing. And we all, as men and women, still think like children. And we all, you go on my Instagram right now, there's a whole post. It's like 5,000 views and 5,000. I mean, you should see the people attacking or going against each other just because of that little quote she said. It's deep. It's deep, family. My gosh. And like she said, the old school is the true school. So they validated everything. So what I put on my Instagram today while I was online with you and Doctah B, this is what I said. I said, after posting an old interview of Sister Shahrazad Ali, and the response was so interesting and alarming, it has proven what she wrote back in the day. We all need healing. That's what I said in my post. I put that on my post. See, people, y'all got to get focused. Get focused, because y'all ain't fooling me. Y'all all need healing. Even the Ivy League women and the Ivy League men, all of y'all, all of us need healing. But hurt people hurts people, just like healed people heals people. Start your healing, man. Stop playing. All right? I hope to see y'all at the Dick Gregory event that I'm doing on October 13th. And please go and support Doctah B Sirius over there at elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com, elevationtime.com. Peace and love, family. Take care, be safe, and be great.
Peace and love, family. Welcome to the I Am Ascension Temple of Love, the home of the Master Healers and Teachers, where myself, Tassili Mata'atma Ma'at, and my king, Ankh El Adam, reside. We want to invite you to a tribute for Baba Dick Gregory, one of those Master Healers and Teachers. This is being presented by none other than King Simon. It's Sunday, October 13th from 11 to 8 p.m. From 11 to 2:30, you're going to have speakers such as Red and Blue Pill, High Heels, and Lorenzo Sanford. From 3 to 7, we'll be blessed with the ancient wisdoms of Baba Ashra Kwesi and his wife, Mirawa Kwesi. This is going to be a time to really acknowledge some of our ancient roots. Baba Dick Gregory opened the way for me to know that I am the universe. I have 9 holes in my body, just like there are 9 planets. That's right. Thank you, Baba Dick. We look forward to seeing you all. That's right. Sunday, October 13th, 11 to 8.
Hi, I'm Millie, creator of Color Curiosity LLC. Come out and join us on October 13th, 2024 for King Simon Presents 29th anniversary. We're going to be at the new Black Wall Street in Stonecrest, Georgia. Come out and have some fun. We're going to have a tribute to Baba Dick Gregory and key speakers like Ashwan Mira Crazy and the amazing Doctah B. We're going to have vendors, food, and fun for everyone. Come and join us.
Peace and prosperity, y'all. It is your girl, Cheyenne Black. And I want to let you know that on October 13th, I will be attending the 29th year anniversary to King Simon Productions. And furthermore, what makes this so great is that we'll be giving a tribute to Baba Dick Gregory. Gonna have some great vendors. You see the names there. You see what's going on? And performances and everything. So y'all come out and, party with us and just get down to some holistic wellness. Anyways, see you soon.
On October 13, 2024, I'll be in Stonecrest, Georgia at New Black Wall Street for King Simon's 29th anniversary celebration, memorializing Dick Gregory. I'll be doing readings, there'll be food, speakers, and vendors. If you want to see me in person, come on out. Any information you're going to need to be below.
Hey family, on Sunday, October 13th, I am celebrating 29 years in promotion and production at the new Black Wall Street Mall with tribute to Dick Gregory. That's right, celebrating 29 years, so text that number to get more information. Remember, Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mira Kwesi will be closing out the evening with a salute by Doctah B Sirius, Brother Rich, Red Pill and Blue Pill, Lorenzo Sanford, Sister Golda X, Sister Tassili Ma'at, and so much more. Make sure you go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerator or scan the QR code. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful. When in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.